What it do, Buck fans? Happy Wednesday. Welcome to another great episode of Bucs Report, the aftermath on 102.9 The Game, Broad Street South Radio. It's one of your hosts, AJ, Turn Up in the house. I hope you guys are doing good. Again, the draft is right around the corner. So we are going to be on here talking our shit. We're going to be here talking shit about people, talking shit to people, and we want you to talk your shit with us. So again, Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans, let's get ready. Get your rum, get your popcorn, get your eye patch, get your parrot. We got shit to say today, and we're bringing on Coach Slick, aka the British guy who's always fly. Now, what's going on, Slick? I'm about to get this rant going. Now, first things
I'm in good spirits, man. My team just came off a 47 free win, so we're rocking and rolling, ready going. We've just finished our preseason. Unfortunately, we got an injury to our backup running back and one of our starting safeties, so we've got to figure that shit out. But other than that, it's a good start. Doesn't mean fuck all because it's preseason. Now the real season hots up and it's survival mode.
All right, look, hey. When you start when you end the preseason off with cheeks clapping, that's always a good thing. So just keep clapping to the regular season.
Hey, it was 14-3 at halftime, so
there it is. So y'all just said, fuck it. We about to just take them out. Now, I want to bring certain things up. I got to get this up off my chest, and I'm about to go at a lot of you motherfuckers out here. So first things first, when you talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you better put some respect on it. When you mention the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, it better be, the only NFC team that's been to 5 straight in playoffs. Playoffs. Oh, you mean the same Buccaneers team that won 4 NFC South divisions? Oh, that team. You mean the same team that got 2 wide receivers duo is in the top fucking 5 of stats, not in yards. Wait a minute, not only in yards, hold on, but touchdowns. Mind you, these gentlemen didn't play with Hall of Fame quarterbacks for most of their season. So we're going to stop you motherfucking haters right there. I'm going to keep doing this, and if I got to keep frying, filleting, and cooking you motherfuckers about Mike Evans and Godwin, damn it, I will. I'm here to say this. Jamar Chase, a very great talent. Justin Jefferson, very good talent. CeeDee Lamb, good. Amon St. Brown, good. Puka, we'll see. But none of these motherfuckers can touch Mike Evans. And here's the thing. That's not a bad thing. They have to earn their stripes. Coach Slick has been saying this for years. It takes 4 to 5 years of consistency or getting better. High volume don't mean a motherfucking thing. There's a lot of receivers that get you 180 yards, but they can't get you touchdowns. We had to school you motherfuckers on that with Julio when y'all said he was better than Evans. You motherfuckers dropped your jaw and faces hit the ground when you found out he only got 66 touchdowns. Yes, exciting doesn't always mean the most effective. Oh, yeah, and for you, some of you Detroit fucking Lion fans, we're happy for y'all. We know what it's like to be in the dungeons of the league in the laughing stock. However, being a top offense don't mean shit until you win something. So you Detroit Lion fans out there, you got a squad. You do, but you ain't done shit yet. You do realize there was an offense.
Hey, boss.
05
the same. Of all the work that they've done on that team, this is what they've done.
Yep.
They are the same as us. They are divisional champions. Nothing more.
Nothing else.
Nothing else. So, more.
Detroit fans, get your shit together. You got to win something first. You haven't even sniffed the Super Bowl yet. So we gave you grace because you got injured. But after that, nobody want to hear that shit. And we're going to see how you do without Ben Johnson. We know the Bucs do very well with 5 different coordinators. We actually get better and better. So we've been there. We are the OGs of this shit. We know what to do. So before y'all talk about that shit, you got to get a ring first. So with that out the way, so you motherfuckers out here talking that shit again, mind you, Tristan Wirfs is the best tackle in football. You want to know why? He was all pro on right and left. Pensay on the fucking Detroit Lions ain't done that. You move his ass to the left, your line would be fucked. I don't want to hear it. Trent Williams, he's at the end of his career. He was a dog, but that day is done. Tristan Wirfs is the best. I don't give again. The stats and numbers and what they've done speaks for itself. Now, this Jamar Chase shit, Justin Jefferson shit. The only clear person right now, in my opinion, like from what I've seen, is better than Evans, and that's because he's younger. Is Jay Jets. Jamar Chase, it's a fucking stretch. Again, high volume doesn't always make you better than. If the game is on the fucking line, I'm going with Mike Evans. He has proven that. What the hell has Jamar Chase done? Oh yeah, mind you, Jamar Chase has Joe Burrow force feeding him the rock. And for all you Bengal fans out there, well, who else are going to throw to? Wait a minute. I thought Burrow was that man. I thought Burrow was supposed to be able to get it to anybody. We just talked about that with Coach Slick. A quarterback having to force it somewhere, that shows me you rely on your talent. That shows me that if that talent is not there, you can't get it done. We know Baker can. When Godwin and Evans was out and Jalen McMillan, Baker was still cooking and kicking ass. So again, know what the fuck you're talking about. Oh yeah, the Bucs also had the best running for their team throughout the entire history. That means that's better than Ward Dunn and Mike Allstott. Let that sink in. This team is not to be fucked with. And again, if you don't know, you can simply come to Bucs Report the Aftermath and holler at us, and we can educate you. Because a lot of you motherfuckers out there who talk about the Bucs, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You don't know. Because again, Tampa Bay we're not the biggest marketing team. We're not the NFC East teams. We're not Philadelphia. We're not Washington, D.C. We're not New York City. We're not Dallas, Texas. Oh, well, Minnesota okay, we're not as old as Minnesota. The Bucs we came into this fucking thing in 76. So, and we were losing. So that was the notion. And again, it's still Tampa. It's a thriving city, but it's not the big cities. It's not San Francisco. If you don't fucking know, simply ask. And again, when we hit you with these fucking numbers, look at these numbers. Look at the company these men are in. Look at that shit and let that sink in. All these people, all these receivers had consistent Hall of Fame quarterbacks with them for at least minimum 5 years. Don't give me no.
Send me that, dude. Send me those two.
Yeah, well, Chris Godwin, I think I would put Amon St. Brown over him. What? Are you serious? Amon St. Brown, again, special talent. But you know what I would do? Just hit his ass because we know he ain't getting in that end zone. Well, he had 10 touchdowns. Okay, again, high volume. That doesn't make you the best. For what? And again, for people out there, if you're going to talk football to me, please be smart. Well, so 1 year players, 1 year first guys can't be better than the other guys? No. Because what if they fall to shit the very next year? And if you're gonna be smart, don't compare stupid shit. So who's better, Jaden or Tua? What the fuck? That's not even hard. Tua's not even that good. Tua can't even stay healthy. So that's a terrible comparison. That's terrible. Again, ladies and gentlemen, again, the numbers speak for themselves. We got some of the most humblest fucking human beings on our team that love this organization, and Baker and Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. You know why
they ain't talking about trying to get the bag. They ain't talking about breaking the market. They ain't talking about breaking banks. They ain't talking about this shit. They sign their contracts, they get their shit done, and they do their work.
And they kick it, and they live in silence. You know, Slick. Slick. They're not two motherfucking receivers who just got a bag that are racing fucking Lambos in Miami. I'm talking to you, Jamar Chase. I'm talking to you, T. Higgins. That's fucking stupid. Because if you crash and fuck yourself up, now you're fucking the team up. This is why I don't have a problem sometimes with the owners hesitating on paying you motherfuckers. Because you're being fucking stupid. That is idiotic, Slick. That is fucking stupid. If I'm the owner and the coach, I'd have called them and said, what the fuck are you doing? Not only you could crash and hurt yourself, you could get arrested if you get caught speeding. So much bad shit can happen when you do dumb shit, but they
We
got the
saw it,
bag.
we saw it with Hill when he got arrested. We saw it with
Exactly.
Hill when he got arrested. It wasn't. It's not a good look, and it's just.
Oh, not a good look. And another thing about Hill, Slick, and for you motherfuckers out there, Hill is not better than Mike Evans. Stop this shit. You want to talk about people shit on Evans for being one-dimensional. What the fuck can Tyreek Hill do when you don't put a safety over him? Not a damn thing. Tyreek Hill is a guy you throw to in stride, but as you know, Todd Bowles showed you how to stop him. He couldn't even get 1,000 yards last year. Well, he got hurt. Mike Evans got hurt. No excuses. Guys, stop regurgitating shit that you hear on TV. Slick has said it. That's for the fluff. They're going to say shit to get you because you idiots out there who don't know ball. Oh, yeah. And if you are under 29, let me know before I even give you my time and energy. Because if you don't understand, if you weren't around, you just don't get it. Well, he looks like he's slowing down. He's slowing down, but he just tied Jerry Rice, the greatest wide receiver all the time. He had double-digit touchdowns. What the fuck are we talking about? Again, being sexy all the time doesn't mean that you're successful. Come on.
Can you imagine how good Mike Evans would have been if he played in 4 more games?
Exactly. 1,500 yards and 16 touchdowns. More than likely. So again, ladies and gentlemen,
you even if you had 14 touchdowns and an extra 400 yards on top. Let's go 250 yards on top. It's a way bigger season, and I think people just got to look at it for what it is. Mike Evans is just great. I think people want him to fail because he's got this consistency, and consistency breeds. It's a bit like how everyone hates the Kansas City Chiefs because they are consistently good. They consistently win. It's Mike Evans doesn't blow the barn doors off, so we get shitted on for that. But then we will go out there and defend it. We'll go, well, okay, you want to look at the quarterbacks he's had? Oh, well, they just threw him the ball. We did have Chris Godwin. Before that, we had D-Jax. Before that, we had V-Jax. There were other guys there getting yards. It wasn't like it was just Mike Evans all on his own. This is rookie year. And if you don't want, and this is why I'll go back to why I say this about the 4 to 5 years. Odell Beckham Jr. He was already crowned the prince, the fucking future, everything. And it dried up the moment he signed a Browns deal. Gone. He is a shadow. And they tried to suck the dick before. When he went to that Super Bowl, they went, oh, it was so good. Where's he now? He couldn't even fucking help Lamar Jackson. He'd been stealing money ever since LA. This is what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. And for the Puka people out there, you saw this in Cooper Kupp. Why the fuck you think Puka got injured? High volume. When you get the ball too many times, everybody out there, if you don't know football one-on-one, getting hit is like getting in a small car accident. If you get hit too many times, that fucks you up. And also, how do we know that's not Sean McVay? You do realize he's a systematic receiver. You do realize that, right? And he's also got a good quarterback throwing to him as well. Again, 1 or 2 seasons don't mean shit, ladies and gentlemen. We've seen this with Cooper Kupp, who's not even on the team anymore. We've seen this with Michael Thomas, who's not on the team anymore. It's funny. There's, out of that 2014 wide receiver deep class, it's maybe 2 or 3 of them only left playing. Devontae, Mike Evans. Cooks. That's it. I don't see Landry. No.
Calvin Benjamin's not playing.
No. Okay, Calvin Benjamin's not.
Odell Beckham. Again, this is all we're trying to tell people. We're going to educate you about the Bucs. I'm so sick of some of you motherfuckers out there. And again, if you are under 28, it's going to be hard for me to take you serious unless you coach the game or you playing it or you really watch it. Because I know the shit that a lot of y'all be saying, I go, okay, you just heard ESPN or you saw this. No, but Jamar Chase, and again, the Bengals, all that money, all the fucking bag, but they have no defense. And now you're asking a team to put up 40 points a game. That's not going to be fucking realistic. If Burrow is in the AFC North, the first thing them fucking defenders are going to do against Myles Garrett, JJ Watt, Trent, they're going to do everything to fuck him up. Oh yeah, and the Ravens as well. And God forbid, I don't wish this on anybody, but knock on wood that he stays healthy. But if he doesn't stay healthy and he has to miss 4 to 5 games, you're cooked because your defense can't do shit. And we know y'all can't draft any real defensive people because for people out there, they well, we got Henderson. You got him from the Saints. Bates, you let him go. So again, know your role, know your place. If you want to come up here for you motherfuckers that I'm talking about, y'all know who I'm talking to. Yeah, I'm calling people out. Drunken Monkey. That's a stupid ass name anyway. And you're an Eagles fan, so we already know you full of talk. So again, bring your ass up here and we'll break it down because I have no patience for stupidity anymore. And like I said, for you youngsters out there, this is my message to y'all when y'all try to talk to me about football. This is what I'm going to start saying.
You're still a baby and you don't know shit.
Let me bring that up again.
You're still a baby and you don't know shit.
Don't know shit. Let me tell you something, youngsters. For anybody who was born after 97, Slick and I, we remember the 90s football. We remember the early 2000s football when football competition was at its highest peak because you had to be good at running the ball and throwing the ball. Defenses could fuck you up and nobody blinked an eye. We had precision. That's why the Legion of Boom was there. That's why we had the Buccaneers defense. That's what made the Buccaneers 2020 defense so special because we reminded people of the good old days of Smash Mouth. Defense wins championships. This is why you motherfucking people deep throating the fuck out of the Eagles. Well, their defense. If anything, what they did was cute compared to what the Bucs did on both times. The 2002 Bucs defense, do we need to explain what happened in the Super Bowl? 5 interceptions, 3 of them motherfuckers for 3 pick sixes. Warren Sapp went off. Simeon Rice, Derek Brooks, come on. Look here, y'all. Again, if you don't know, just fucking ask. So again, it's okay to like players, but I love Mike Evans. But that doesn't, I'm not saying he's the greatest receiver. No, but you go respect him and you're going to respect Godwin. Well, Godwin does this better than Evans. Yes, that's why they complement each other. And in the great words of Slick,
you don't want to have 2 wide receivers do exactly the same thing because it's just
makes
pointless.
no fucking sense. Again, football 101. That makes no sense.
Why do you think they moved on from Cooper Kupp? Because they got it in Puka Nakua. They got exactly the same player, but for cheaper.
Duality makes you dangerous. That's why the Bucs in 2021 was just beating everybody silly because we were that guy. But again, that's what makes them special. Oh, wait a minute. Well, Godwin this. Wait a minute. You do know Godwin turned down $20 million because he didn't want to be in dusty-ass New England. And we'll be talking about Stephon because Stephon, what he did is fucking stupid. You're literally downgrading a quarterback each time because you can't get your shit together. But that's the point.
But I think he's got to a point where that's all he can do because I think his options are limited, and I think that was probably he got into I'm earning money mode. Because you got different types of people. Like the one thing I will respect Odell Beckham is the moment he left, at least he tried to find teams that are on the up and up. Right? Yeah. You've got to respect that. And in all fairness, his stats have not been great. Like let's have a snapshot of what he's done when he was at Cleveland. He had that 1,000-yard season when he was in Cleveland with 4 touchdowns. Then after that, he kind of shit the bed. He had that 2. You know when they gushed over him and they were circle jerking over him because of the Super Bowl performance? Because that's what got him re-signed, right? That's what made his money. You know, in that season, in the regular season, he got 500 yards. Just over. They're 537 for 5 touchdowns. And we're circle jerking over a guy because he played so well in one fucking game. Because the national spotlight makes that much of a difference.
And he over there with that little stupid ass crying. Like when he cried, I wanted to be like, get the fuck out of here. You didn't even truly earn that. The MVP of the Rams is Von Miller. We know this. If Von is not on that team, Odell wouldn't even look good. He'd get fucked up. We know this. And again, no, this is why he doesn't get the respect. When Odell was needed in Baltimore for Lamar, what the fuck did he do? He evaporated. If I'm Lamar, I'd be like,
565 yards and 3 touchdowns.
but he's elite. Guys,
Mhm.
again,
He couldn't even start on Miami's squad. Miami brought him in. He has no game starts for Miami.
Yep.
Let that sink in. No game starts in 9 games. He appeared in 9 games, got himself 18 targets, received 55 yards and no touchdowns. But exactly. I guarantee you there were people talking when he went to Miami going, oh, well, they'll get the best out of him. He's going to be back to how he was. He's going to be back Super Bowl level. I don't think he completely healed.
Mm-hmm. But again, when we talk about Evans and the numbers stack up, Slick, all of a sudden it's the Charlie Brown when they talk to the teachers. I was like, wait a minute, hold on. We're giving you true stats. I'll go back to Tyreek Hill. He had 959 yards and 6 touchdowns last year. Evans had 1,000. Well, he was hurt. Wait a minute. Evans was hurt too. Oh, yeah. You know what, Slick? Maybe Tyreek is missing Mahomes a lot more now. Everybody can't duplicate the same success.
Why? The thing is, he goes to Miami, and he goes to Miami for the money. Make no fucking mistake. That's why he went. He went because they were going to they basically wrote a blank check, right? He turned down he was going for the blank check. Got his blank check. Awesome. Great. And then he had the audacity throughout training camp to say, "Oh, this kid throws it better. This Tua kid, he's way more accurate with the football." And we're all sat here like, you honestly expect us to believe that this other guy is better than Patrick Mahomes? Like, don't get me wrong, Patrick Mahomes. I can't get it out now. Patrick Mahomes has already written up enough legacy that he's already walked as a first ballot Hall of Famer. If he retired today, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer the moment he goes in, because he's already done something that's elite. There are people out there who've been in the Hall of Fame that's never touched what he's done. That short period that he's been there, he was one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time in his little segment, right? You go from that and you turn around and go, well, he throws the ball a bit more accurate, he does this, and then they have a great season. He goes off. Because we all know Tua is a good quarterback. The biggest issue with Tua is he gets hurt predominantly with concussions. Can't stay healthy. And if you've got you're not going to win a Super Bowl with that quarterback. And I don't mean any hatred towards Tua Tagovailoa. Nothing against him. I think he's an astonishing player and I love everything about him. But you are not going to win a championship with a quarterback that can't stay healthy, because at some point he's going to go down in the season and you're going to rely on the backup. The backup will not win you a Super Bowl. Just because Nick Foles, that's not a translation of success. It's not a normal success rate. You see where I'm going? Unless they draft somebody 1 overall or high-end draft pick and he sits on the bench and all of a sudden he goes down and the new guy plays better, that's the story, right? But that's not going to happen here. The Tua ship is done. Sadly.
The Tua ship is done, and a lot of these motherfuckers out here are done. Again, Godwin and Evans have been doing it consistently. They've been doing it. They're champions. The Jamar Chases and Higgins that you guys love, they're fighting for a fucking playoff spot, not a Super Bowl spot. A playoff spot. Waddle and Hill, they're fighting just to play when if it's 50 degrees, they're done. AJ Brown and them, okay. Saquon Barkley, we're not taking anything from AJ Brown, but AJ Brown got a lot of more, like at least 6 more years to catch up with Mike Evans.
Oh yeah, I mean he's the low. I would say he's the low key dark horse to contend with Mike right now, because he's a little bit like Mike I'm going from a stats point of view. Touchdowns are pretty high. Yards aren't mega high, but he hits that 1,000-yard quite often. He's consistently very, very good. Bit shouty as a player, bit mouthy as a player, but different in Mike Evans in that regard. But what I'm trying to say is he's quietly putting in the work that while we're all ranting and raving about the Jamar Chases and the Amon-Ra St. Browns and no disrespect to any of those guys, we're kind of missing a guy who's secretly just stacking this resume, just like Mike Evans was in the first 5 or 6 years of his career.
Yep.
And it's an interesting thing because I looked at his stats the other day and went, wow, I didn't know he was that good.
Well, here's the funny thing. Do you think he has a full season of 1,000 yards?
No. I think he started. I think he's got probably 2 years where he didn't get them.
No, only one, 2021. So he's got he's got 8 more years to catch up. And look, we'll see what happens with Jalen Hurts and them because peep this. He didn't miss that many games. He had 1,079 yards and 7 touchdowns. Mike Evans had more touchdowns than that. But let me guess. They're going to blame Jalen Hurts.
I want to add this in here because as much as Hill was hurt, how many games do you think he played last year?
AJ Brown, I think he played at least 13 games.
Tyreek Hill, because we're talking about how the Tyreek. They always say that Tyreek's injury is why he didn't get 1,000 yards and the lackluster season. He only had 6 touchdowns. How many games do you think he appeared in? How many games do you think he played in?
I think Hill played in at least 13 games.
Okay, how many of them do you think he started?
Hill, I think he started 10 of them.
He played 17 games. He started 17 games.
Oh shit! Oh, so no injuries, no excuse.
If he's injured, he should have gone out and got fixed and got fucking right. But he either tried to play through it, and that's stupid in itself.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to look down the line, right? You got to look down at the future because you can't keep that up sustainably. Because at one point in that season, I don't know where, because I'm not a Miami Dolphins fan. At some point in that season, he got hurt, and he kept coming back and coming back. At some point, the coach is going to say, "Dude, just get fucking better. If we drop a game or two, fuck it. We'll come back. You'll be 100%, and then we can fucking knock this shit out of the park." Because you ain't winning shit. You can't tell me you're going to limp through the season and then limp through the limp through the playoffs. You can't do that. It's the NFL season's too long to just slog it out.
You're right. You're 100% right on that. And I like this. I do like this. For the most part, do you know on average throughout Mike Evans' career, his receptions are typically in the 70s? I tell people that, like you said, because there's other players on the team. It's not just Evans, but guys like Tyreek Hill, he's been in the high 80s. For 3 straight seasons, he had over 100 receptions. So at that point, high volume. High volume.
This is another point because Mike Evans gets more with little. That's the point, right? He's not. You can turn around and say he's a high volume receiver, but he's not because he doesn't win the reception battle, right? He doesn't. He's never been a top receptions guy. You look at a Cooper Kupp, the year that he got the Triple Crown, he had the reception crown, he had the yards, and he had the touchdowns. Well, of course, you're going to give the ball. You're going to give a wide receiver the most ball of all the wide receivers. I would expect him to have at least more touchdown, more yards, especially with the way he plays. Touchdowns, it's debatable because the way he plays, he's more of a slot kind of guy. It doesn't always necessarily yield touchdowns, but at the same time, he did it, right? He got those. But yeah, high volume.
And only had 2,000-yard seasons ever since he's played. Let that sink in, ladies and gentlemen. And that ain't even back-to-back. It ain't even back-to-back seasons. Not even back-to-back. Give me back-to-back at least. He didn't even get you back-to-back. So with all that being said, folks, and I said what I said, and I really hope other people are watching this shit because I was just talking to you youngsters again. If you don't know, just ask. But if you come at me with some bullshit,
you're still a baby and you don't know shit.
And that's it. That's all I'm going to give you. So with no further ado, we're here we're going to continue to talk about the Bucs, but we're actually going to talk about the Bucs and the draft again and what we need to do. Because again, it is very fucking important. I think the dude will bring up our draft things. If you got yours, Slick, you can bring yours in if you want to. But
I would, but I'm just gonna. I'll have to add them in. Hang on.
Go ahead and add them in, my big dog. Go ahead. Take some of my shit out if you need to. Take some of my shit out.
I think someone's played with that thing. I think there's not a lot here.
Oh, sorry. I'm deleting that one. Get that fucking guy off my. Get that doo-doo off there. Why is that
doo-doo? Get that bitch out of my page.
Duval.
Oh gosh.
Douchebag. Motherfucker. Punk motherfucker. But anyway, Buck fans, this is a win-win situation for the Bucs because we have so many things that we can do in this draft, and all we need is basically this is what we need: role players. Do your job, have the big dogs do their thing, and we're good. And let's read through some of these comments. What's up, Spencer? 1 month away from the draft. That's right. What's going on? King Crook. And not only Mike Evans, a Hall of Fame receiver, top 3 all time. Ooh, that's hey.
I think he will be when he's done. I think he will be when he's done.
Yeah, he's in top 10 now. He's top 10, but if he gets 10 more touchdowns, he's already in the top 5. Now, good God, if he plays, let's say he plays 2 more seasons, Slick, and gets 20 touchdowns total, he'll be at 125. That means, yeah, he'll be up there with Marvin Harrison and them.
Yep.
Oh yeah. And because Godwin and them did the bank, we build our team like we do, plug away. Yeah, again, this is why the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have been consistently good. If these guys took the bag, that means the Bucs don't get other players that are needed. This is what we're saying. This is what makes this team dangerous. So for you Detroit fans out there and you Eagles fans, you can't even talk shit. You can't even talk shit, Eagles, because y'all literally in the back, y'all talk that shit. Oh, we're gonna bring everybody back. Most of these motherfuckers are gone. And then this is what they said. Well, they were better off without there. We're better off. No.
You're never better off with your best without your best players.
Exactly.
You've got to upgrade. You've got to get things in the draft. The draft might not pan out for you. You've got to go and find new free agents. It doesn't work like that. I'd love it to, but it doesn't work like that. But I do have my drafts up.
Let's go. Let's see them, baby.
So I did a few different ones. I just wanted to have a little look. So we'll start with this one. So this has got Jai Campbell. Now, my mindset on this was I wanted to get a guy with immediate impact. So I could have drafted Jalen Walker was there. The Tennessee guy was there. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. There were a couple of edge rushers that were available in this mock, right? And they might not be there in real life. I don't know. But I was like, who's going to have an immediate impact? And I think Jai Campbell, you put him next to Lavonte David, and he instantly makes the defense better. That's what you need as your first round pick. Can't be a guy who's going to develop ready for next year, who will have a role play. Because you can draft a Jalen Walker or what have you. At this point, who's he going to replace? Is he going to beat out? And I mean this, and I'm not being disrespectful to the man, but he's got to beat out our return. He's got to beat out our Alabama, the Alabama guy that we got last year. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Chris
Braswell. Yep. So we got Chris Braswell, but he's also got Huggins, who we just got by a free agency. Hassan Reddick that we got via free agency, and Yaya Diaby. That's 3 guys already competing for 2 starting spots. Do you really want to draft another guy to compete for another spot? You can't play all 4 of them. So, but you can play Jai Campbell straight a fucking way because he should be what we wanted out of Devin White.
Right. That's what we're doing, and I like that. Jihad put it this way. Jihad goes there and he stays healthy with Lavonte staying healthy. All Slick. The minimum realistically is divisional playoffs. Just divisional. That's the minimum. That's the minimum. But if we get a safety with them to help them out, if like I said, Jason Light,
so we go into the 53 pick,
yeah,
and there were no safeties that I felt. There was no safeties immediately available, and I didn't want to go and reach for one. I went, well, how about I go and get a guy who can compete and push in? So I bring in Landon Jackson just for that. Then we get Penn State's Kevin Winston Jr., and I'm loving everything about it because now I've got two guys, a third-round pick that can start to squeeze into that safety spot and try and really push for it. And then I bring in Zy Alexander, who's a zone guy, who's more of a zone guy than a press man guy, got a good thick body on him. And then I decide to go down the route of adding another horse to that running back stable, and then bring in someone else to relieve, say, somebody like William Galston. That was the thought process that was going into this one. Is there any of those picks you want to talk about, or I can just show another mark?
I like. Let me show another mock. I'll say this: the Vernon Broughton one. I thought that was interesting because he could be a good role player. I like shit like that. That's a good one because we need that. And I think we were just talking about it, guys. When you got guys in defense that rotate, it's not like offensive linemen where the more they stay in, the better continuity. You want fresh legs on the D line because that shit gets tiresome, especially in the 3-4 when they're in the trenches. So for people out there, let me see the camera. I want people to understand this, Slick, because some people say this dumb as shit. In a 3-4 defense, ladies and gentlemen, your DNs and nose tackles are not meant to get the sacks. That's why you have outside edge rushers, ladies and gentlemen. What you guys are used to is 4-3 schemes. That's the defensive end's job to get to the quarterback. Okay? Have we learned something today?
They're your double-digit guys. Your double-digit guys predominantly on any defense are your edge defenders. So an edge defender in a 3-4 is your outside linebackers. In a 4-3, it's going to be your defensive ends because it's where they're placed, the technique that they're placed in. So, oh god, give me a second. In a 3-4, they're probably wide 9s to 8s, maybe 7s. Yep. In a 4-3, they're probably 6, 7, 8s. Give me a second there.
It's okay. You know what you're talking about. We're just talking about the poor souls out there who just don't understand. Just because you're a superstar.
Hey, we would love all our guys to get fucking double-digit sacks, but it's not something that commonly happens. It probably happens to one player. Like, I don't think people realize how special Vita Vea is getting consistently 6 and 7 and 8 sacks every year at nose.
Yeah, that's
the amount of people that's in front of him to get him to the quarterback. It's a testament, and that's why it makes me so sick when he doesn't get All Pro. It makes me sick when he doesn't get Pro Bowls because they take the two best defensive tackles, and you're not. When you create a Pro Bowl team and an All Pro team, you should be taking the guys that you would take in a real life game. So who's the best nose in football? That's who you put in your All Pro. Who's the best free tech / I mean, and honestly, because there's so many different schemes, it gets really difficult because you could have. I remember Levante David would struggle to get Pro Bowls and what have you because Von Miller would the likes of like the outside linebackers like Von Miller and not Von Miller specifically, but like players like Von Miller who played outside linebacker but in a 3-4 would get the nod. And I'm like, but what scheme are you doing this for?
Exactly.
It's almost like if you're going to do it, you know who needs to have a spot that doesn't have a spot when they when they do the corners, they need to add in a nickel. All Pro nickel, All Pro and Pro Bowl nickel. It has to be done, and I think they should go down the route of. So they have like the first team and they have all the alternates. Fuck all that shit. Fuck all that shit. You go nose, defensive tackle, end, 3-4 end, 3-4 end, 4-3 end, 4-3 end, 3-4 edge, outside backer, inside backer, outside backer, nickel, safety, corner, done. That should be the team, and that's it, done. I know that you added extra spots, but it's unfair to, based on scheme. Like, you've got guys with defensive tackles who play end, because that's basically what happened. So if you were to take a guy like Will Golston, if he were to play in a 4-3, he'd probably play closer to a defensive tackle.
I would say D tackle, 6'7" guy, long frame. Yeah,
absolutely. He can play end. That's why he's so versatile. He can play end, but I think he found his niche with Todd Bowles. I think he got instantly better the moment Todd Bowles entered the building.
Yes, because I agree.
I think he's a 3-4 end. 100%.
And let me look at this draft, because boy, this is my shit right here. The first four is a knockout. Campbell, Azari Thomas, Brady Swinson, Jalen Reed. Oh, this is this is a Super Bowl. The first four are that's Super Bowl, because just think, Jihad fills the slot. Azari is going to be a good person that can rotate after Dean or Zion. Brady Swinson is good in rotation. Him and Broswell can fight it out.
I would like to get I would like to have got a safety at 3, but I was like, I need to address this edge situation. I need some competition there, and there were no safeties that I felt like I was reaching for him.
Yeah,
where I was looking at, and it was like the likes of Jalen Reed. I was looking at him, and I was like, I reckon I could grab him later, so I'll just grab this dude and in Swinson, and it kind of worked out lovely. And I tell you what, my unsung hero of this draft is Craig Woodson. I like the fuck out of this guy. I think he could be another nickel.
And we can use all the nickels.
All the nickels and dimes we can get.
And look, you can never have more than enough corner. When they, like Hayes, when he went down, we were just like, oh shit, there it goes. So that's a beautiful thing. I like this one, and like, I'm really high on Azari Thomas. I really hope that he could stay. He could be a early third round for us. I just don't.
Or go get him at the tail end of the second and just trade up.
I really think, Slick, that he would be phenomenal for this Bucs squad. And look, a Florida boy, he stays. He won't be too far. And I know that'll put a grin on your face, because it'll just bring the. And imagine if he does very well. They'll be like, that's that Seminole in him. So I like this. I really do like this one. I think this one, those first 4 picks, the Bucs, because they have depth, they would be effective. That's what hurt the Bucs last season. When our starters went down, the depth dropped. The talent of depth dropped so dramatically. It's like, oh shit, especially at linebacker and corner.
Yep.
So absolutely. Now with these people, so I like that one, Slick. Excellent. And this is a good one too. Now,
I used a couple of different companies just to kind of get a feel, like, if I was going to get the same thing. So I went with Jalen. I was like, well, let's go down the whole pass rusher route and see how that really looks. But I don't really address linebacker until much later, which I didn't like. But I seem to have gone Georgia crazy in this one.
Yes, you did. You love them Bulldogs.
It's what sat down. It was in front of me, and I was like, you know what? I'll go and take this guy. And it wasn't until after I really looked at it and went, oh my god, like three out of 6 picks are Georgia Bulldogs. I feel like I'm drafting for the Philadelphia Eagles or some shit.
Now the real killer in this one is Darian Porter. That 4.3 speed would come in so much handy. I think
I wish he was still there in one of my other drafts. You know, you could like hodgepodge some of these other drafts together. And let's say we go, Jai Campbell seems to be the pick in my opinion. And then you go down and get a, then you probably go down and get yourself. I can't read the name. Is that Nick Emerson? And I can't pronounce that off the top of my head. I'm looking this on a phone.
You mean Imawari?
Yeah. Take him, and then you take the corner. Boom, bang, 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 bang.
I'm not gonna lie, Slick. I'd be ballsy if I can do it. If I can sling that shit. If I can get Florida State, my man, corner at late second. I would move up to get Porter early third. If you swing that, imagine those two guys on this Bucs depth squad. Make that happen. If we can't make Jihad and Starks happen, then you make Azaria and Darian Porter happen. Those two are, I think, are more realistic of moving up to get. Like you said, Azaria will be a late second, but you can move up, give a fourth to get Darian Porter. Oh my God.
And then you can still go and get Jalen Reed in the fourth.
Thank you. Oh my God, Slick. If we got these two fucking corners,
I mean, in theory, hear me out. We go Campbell. This one's got Thomas. This one's got Porter at 3. Hang on, that's a different one. And then we go Jalen Reed at 4. Boom, 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 boom. We haven't traded up nothing. That would be fucking fire.
That would be a homer, because I'd say the first 2 picks are immediate impact players. The others, shit, never mind. Darian Porter, I think, is just, look, either way, because now you got speed and physicalness on both sides. Because in a way, Azaria kind of reflects Dean and Darian reflects Zion, both fast. Because we know, like, Zion runs a 4.3 as well. People forget Zion runs a 4.3.
And then this is the final one. I quite like this one.
I like the last 2 because that's sneaky. Because let's say if Rachaad White, we give Rachaad White to get Starks, now we can go and get this motherfucking guy, Ricky White. You know what I'm saying? Or we let go of.
Sometimes you want to hard these together and get the best one. So if you were looking at this, you could go. So we go and get our boy Jair Campbell. Boom. Then we go and get Thomas. Boom. Then we go and bring in Porter. Boom. We go back down. And we go get Jalen Reed. And then in the last pick, we'll go and get Ricky White. And then it's whoever you like at that 5th spot. Go tight end. Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably tight end or wide receiver. I would probably go there and get some.
And you can ship Trey Palmer somewhere to go up in the draft. Hey, you want Trey Palmer, guys? We'll give him to you. Oh, hey, okay. Oh man, look, if we get Azaria and Darian,
let's take Trevor Whitney. I reckon Georgia Bulldog running back. He's going to be tough.
We love Rachaad White here, Buck fans. Don't ever get that twisted. But he is expendable if it comes for the better defense.
He's on his last year. If you can get something for him, and you can get a guy that you think can, I wouldn't say do the job, because I think he's gained enough experience in this league to definitely be a solid backup.
Yeah,
a solid backup.
100%. This is why he's expendable. He's still at his prime years. You can get him, and then we can get somebody else.
Yeah, because you're not going to resign him. Someone else will pay him some good money.
100%.
Next year, someone's going to resign. Someone will sign him. He will go in free agency, and he'll go to a Baltimore or somewhere like that, and he will get paid $3 or $4 million to either a 1-year deal or a multi-year deal where they kind of segmented it a little bit more. Because he's gonna be good. Just fine. But do you want to get out and say you bring in a player that you can develop, or do you want to? Well, we'll just keep kicking the tires until he goes, and if he goes, he goes. And I'm fine with either.
Same here, Buck fans. Offense is set. Remember, priority is this fucking defense. We know that what the offense is.
That's why I don't touch the offense until like pick number fucking 5.
Thank you. And that's a beautiful thing. And one of the other things that I want to bring up, this is our last topic of the night, ladies and gentlemen, Slick. This right here is, again, why I tell people, this is why I'm going to just have this.
You're still a baby and you don't know shit.
Because look at this idiotic ranking. And this is FanDuel, ladies and gentlemen. So ridiculous. The first 8 is just bad. The last one, not the 16. This was
What
my
is this fucking fluff on the fucking Bears, man? They haven't done enough. Wait till they've done. This is why I don't like free agency, because free agency gives everyone this fucking fake hope that everything's gonna fucking change their fortunes.
Yep.
I don't mind the top 5. I don't mind the top 4 of this. I think the Rams are a little bit too high. That's where you can start to argue. But the top 3 are the top 3. You could possibly put the Commanders down by 1, but I'm okay. I could live
The
with that.
Commanders need to be. I'd put Commanders at 4 or 5. Oh my gosh, like they're acting. I'm gonna say this: if the
It's because they had a
Commanders
Cinderella run.
Hassan Reddick,
The media's always going to slurp on that, and you can't blame them because you can't have a Cinderella run like that. And they actually got better in free agency. But
if they would have gotten Hassan, like, oh shit, they're scary. But I'm putting the Commanders below Detroit because we got to see what the Commanders do in the draft. They need.
That's what I mean. It is a way too early power ranking. And what the fuck have the Niners have lost everyone?
Yeah, right.
Let's be brutally fucking honest. The Niners have lost anyone. I don't know what the Packers have done to get so high.
Not a damn thing.
The Bears, they've made moves and they've made some really good moves. However, we still haven't seen anything from their quarterback to turn around and say, yeah, that will put them as a top 5 team.
Exactly. The Bucs should be.
They're the fucking third best team. No, sorry, they're the 4th best team in their division, even in this power ranking. That means when you create a power ranking, you're thinking, going to lose to the Eagles, going to lose quite often, going to lose to the Eagles, going to lose to the Commanders, going to lose to the Lions. So why the fuck are they at 5? Do they really think that they're going to win that many other games, but get pumped in their division, that they will be the 5th best team in all of the NFC? That's not going to happen.
Slick,
you're going to be at least 10.
Slick, Slick, I'm going to give you this right now. Are you ready to see the Commanders' schedule for this year coming up? They're not going to the playoffs. I said this shit. You mark my words. They're going to miss the playoffs. This is their schedule. They got Atlanta, Dallas, Green Bay, Kansas City, the Chargers, Dolphins, Vikings, the Giants, the Eagles, Dallas, Giants, of course, then the Chicago Bears, Detroit, Denver, the Raiders, and Seattle. They're going to go 9-8, and they're going to barely miss the playoffs. They're losing against the Packers. They're going to lose against the Chiefs. They're going to lose against the Chargers. They're going to lose. They're going to split more than likely with all their divisional rivals. They're going to lose to Detroit, and they're going to lose to Denver. And I see the Raiders upsetting them because they'll sleep on them. So this is what I'm saying. Everybody has film on Jaden Daniels. A lot of those teams that I mentioned, Slick, they got nasty defenses. Denver, nasty defense. Chargers, nasty defense. Eagles, nasty defense. The Chiefs, nasty defense. I mean, even Minnesota has a strong enough defense to where they'll overcome. And again, you just said it, Cinderella story. Hey, Slick, Lions were Cinderella stories 2 years ago. What happened? They didn't even get back to the NFC Championship. Now, granted, they had injuries, and we've already given them grace for that, but that's the point. I would put, this was my order. The Eagles 1, Detroit 2, the Bucs at 3, Rams at 4. You could put the Packers at 5. And the Niners, you put the motherfuckers over here. To be quite honest, the Falcons should be 7 or 8. The Falcons have a chance to be good. If they can
I think they do it on the Falcons a little bit. I think there's way too much love for the Cowboys.
Oh, yeah. Cowboys need to be further down. And even, hell, with the addition of Russell and Jameis, I'll put the Saints at 16. They ain't going nowhere. Hey, look. Isn't that beautiful? Saints ain't doing shit for like 5-6 years. They gonna be doo-doo sauce. But again, this is the point. You can tell this is literally Slick, someone who just watches ESPN and just says, I'm just gonna go by what I heard Steven and them say. Because like you said, 49ers, for example, Slick, if I'm George Kittle, I want to get the fuck out of there. Or if you're the 49ers, Slicks, you can get a second round with George Kittle minimum.
Here's an interesting thing that's just come up. I just want to give a shout out to. So this is I wouldn't say breaking news. KGH for life said, "Isn't Campbell hurt?" And he is. He's hurt at the moment. He's got torn labrum, and he will be out to 6 to 8 months.
Ooh.
So if you're gonna have him, you're not gonna get him until October, in theory. And he's still got to get acclimatized to football speed, so that might come into the Buccaneers, where the Buccaneers are going to go, and that's really sad to hear. But it was confirmed Wednesday, today, because he did not appear in their in Alabama's pro day. So yeah, that's
poor guy. That sucks. That's going to affect his draft like shit.
The severity of Campbell's injury is currently unknown. However, Jay Robbins of SB Nation reports that labrum surgeries typically require 6 to 8. So it depends on how big the tear is. Now, he did go to the scouting combine and perform there. I don't know what drills specifically that he performed. So we're hoping it's a light tear and it's going to get fixed, but apparently will need surgery. So.
Jay Wiggins is still available.
I mean, now do you go down the route and get Starks, and then go and get a backer in the second?
Yes.
And then go safety or corner in the third. So all it does is just reshuffle the bench. Like if we go back through mine, what I had up before.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's see what we were looking at. So. We got Jair Campbell, so let's go with the one where I went with Jalen Walker, just for the sake of argument.
Jalen Walker is available.
If Jalen Walker is available, you could go down that route and fix the pass rush there. What was I saying? We go down Starks Alley, and then we go and get. We could still get Thomas. We could still go get. We could still go get an edge. We could go get Landon Jackson, and then we go down the route of bringing in. Or we could go Thomas, Bradley Swinson again. You could do it again. You could go Starks, Thomas, Bradley Swinson, and instead of getting a safety at 4, you go and get somebody else. You probably.
I think we'll be just fine on that, Slick. To be quite honest, but this does change. If anything, this is going to sharpen Jason Light to go okay. Because I told you, I still think we should get Azaria Thomas and Darian Porter. If you can make that happen, that clears your secondary woes for a long time. Because now you have true depth piece. Because we still got other people we signed in free agency. But that is this draft is loaded with inside linebackers. Like you said, Javon Walker, you might be able, like you said, you might be able to move up and. If we don't go Jihad, I go with Starks because you get Starks. Boom. Imagine Starks, Slick, Azaria Thomas, and Darian Quarter.
I mean, you still got Danny Stutzman, linebacker out of Oklahoma. You got Carson Swinesinger from UCLA, and then you got Jeffrey Bassa from Oregon, and there's a few guys, so you can still go. I think. Demetrius Knight II in one of my drafts. If I can just pick him up, pull him up.
We all right. We gonna be all right. I love it.
Here we go. So you can pick him up in the 3rd. So let's say you went. Here you go. You go Jalen Walker. Azaria Thomas, Demetrius Knight, and then in another one I've got Jalen Reed. So all it does is just reset the board a little bit more.
Yep. And again, the Bucs are in prime position. Again, we just need depth pieces and we're set. This is why Bucs fans, we can't wait for this fucking draft to start. But again, at the end of the day, I like this. Let's see what the comments said. King would be the spark we need on defense. He's a dog. I agree. We just talked about it. Oh, and Daniels will have a down year. It is what it is. We've already talked about that. Commander fans, if you guys, and I'm asking you, King Cook, I'm asking you, KG for life, I'm asking you, anybody else out there, wait a minute, Sean Spencer, if you guys know any other NFL fan teams that want to get on here and talk with us, we will be as professional and courteous. We're not assholes. We just want you to come here with the football mentality. Slick and I are fans of the game first, then the Bucs. But please, because I really want to hear Commanders tell me why Jaden Daniels is going to be this guy who just defies the odds. If he does, I'll eat the words. But Slick, the NFL has been around for over 100 years. Nobody has just come in this motherfucker and just said, I'm going to be the man just because. Everybody gets filmed. Well, we've never seen anything like Jaden Williams. It has. We said the same thing about Stroud. Hell, we go back even further. People said the same thing about Michael Vick. You know what happened, Slick? The Bucs said, oh, wait a minute. His weakness is fast defensive ends. Simeon, handle that. Greg Spires, handle that. Oh, better yet, one-on-one, Derek Brooks, handle that. And Derek Brooks is the only linebacker who open field tackle a prime Michael Vick. That's one of the sexiest tackles I've ever seen. You a defensive coach, Slick. That was textbook tackling one-on-one.
He's a textbook tackler.
He anticipated. He said, oh, I know you're going to juke. So you know what? I'm going to put my body where you're going to juke, and I'm going to hit your ass while you're running at full speed. Guys, the Bucs are going to make noise. And definitely this draft, if anything, Slick and I will do our best to be on during the draft if we can. Or we'll get on right after the first round of the draft.
What time is the draft this year? I know it's in April.
April 27th. April 27th, I think at 8 p.m. or some shit. Let me look it up right now, actually. NFL draft 25. It is going to be it's going to be in Wisconsin. Let me see the damn time. Man, come on, guys. We want the time. It's going to be at what time is the damn draft going to be? I think 12 p.m. No, not yeah. 12 p.m. What the fuck? No, 6 p.m. 6 p.m. So either
12
way,
p.m. is my time. 12 p.m. is pretty much my time, I guess. Oh, no, it'd be 12
yeah,
a.m.
exactly. But yeah, so we gonna be all right. But again, we just had to lay that out there. We'll be back again to talk about it. But again, for you people out there, if you don't know any better, you want to know about the Bucs, talk to us. But at the end of the day, put respect on it. 5 straight NFL playoffs, 4 straight NFC South divisions. We have the best tackle works. We have the best wide receiver duo. Until these guys make a deep run in the playoffs or get a ring, I don't want to hear shit about Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. I don't want to hear shit about A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith because they're good, but we know at the end of the day, if there was no Saquon, they wouldn't be where they are. I don't want to hear about CeeDee Lamb because that's just funny. Now you're just being insulting. I don't want to hear shit about Addison and Jets because we know Justin Jefferson is carrying that man for now. But we'll see. But on that note, I'm going to be out this piece. Thank you all for tuning in on Bucs Report, the Aftermath on 102.9 The Game, Broad South Radio. AJ Turn Up in the house. Slick, always a pleasure. Go Bucs. Y'all take care of yourselves. I'll see you next week, brother.
See you next week, brother. Look out for yourself.
Hey.
Okay, guys, that's the end of the show. Thank you for tuning in, taking out what we got, and commenting, liking, and all the good stuff that you guys do. My football right now has risen up. I've got a game in 2 weeks' time, so we got to get ourselves prepared for that. We're first game of the season. We just had 2 preseason games where we won emphatically. I think one was 10-38, and the other one was 3-47. So we're looking good, but these are against lesser opponents, which we expect to win. Then the rest of it will be up against higher division, our actual divisional opponents. One of our preseason games pulled out, so we weren't able to get it. So disappointing, but it is what it is. We roll with the punches and we go into week 1 in 2 weeks, and I'm ready for it. And the Buccaneers will be doing all the draft prep that they need to do to get ready for this draft, get their big board ready, get their guys who they want. Hopefully we hear some good things. And a few more pro days will go off in that time, and we'll be able to decipher who we want, who we can bring in. All I need right now is a bang bang, a finesse safety, and a new inside linebacker to pair with my guy Levante, and then get me that pass rusher ready and learning, and a corner ready to go, a corner ready to learn. Because you're probably going to. The only thing I have with drafting a corner early is he's probably not going to start. Where we pick, corners don't always start. They usually take a year or 2 to develop. So, especially in the second round and onwards, first round, it's got to be quite early on for them to start straight away, unless your cornerback room is terrible. You have people in our cornerback room that know how to play for bowl, so it's not going to be a walk-in kind of moment. So that's why I'm looking at my first 3 picks. I really want to try and nail down linebacker, edge, and safety, because they are immediate impact players. You never have enough pass rushers. Having a linebacker straight away instantly strengthens the run defense and potentially the pass defense if he's a good coverage guy. And then of safety, we're still needing someone to truly pair with Antoine Winfield Jr. But on that note, guys, Bucs on me, Bucs on free. 1, 2, 3, go Bucs.